So this here is called the Valley of the Temples, but actually it's more of a ridge of the temples because it's located on a ridge, not in a valley. But for the tourist purposes, I think it's better to be called a valley of the temples, not the ridge of the temples. So that's why there's the name, the Valley of the Temples.
What we see today is a landscape that tells two stories at once. The poetic name that captured travelers' imagination, and the reality of a city planned with strategic precision. The Greeks of Akragas built their sacred temples on this high ridge to dominate the landscape, connect with the sky, and oversee the fertile plains that fed their ambition. From here, a superpower will be born.
Welcome to the Valley of the Temples, or Valle dei Templi di Agrigento. This isn't just one of the most famous archaeological sites in Italy. It's one of the most extensive collection of Greek temples outside of Greece itself.
This ridge was a sacred spine of Akragas. Archaeological survey reveals its scale, 12 kilometers of defensive walls enclosing the city of perhaps 100,000 people. When you walk here, you're tracing the main street of a city praised by the poet Pindar, he most beautiful built by mortals. However, this beauty just provoked jealousy that would lead into its downfall. Each temple along this ridge marks a chapter in that story.
Right behind me is the temple of Juno, also known as the temple of Hera. So this temple was built around 450 BC and it stands on the most eastern edge of the ridge. It was likely dedicated to the Hera, the goddess of marriage and childbirth. It suffered damage from fire by the Carthaginian attack of Sicily in 1406 BC, and you can still see some of the burn marks and some of the stones. The temple's high position gives the best panoramic view over the valley and the sea.
Architecturally, this is a textbook Doric temple. 6 columns at the front, 13 on the sides, standing on step base. Each column was built from stacked drums, joined with metal dowels, and originally covered with plaster to gleam in the sun. Inside was a cella, the chamber housing the cult statue, while the entire structure was once covered with a terracotta roof tiles. The fire damage is still visible today. It is a permanent scar, marking the end of Archagas' golden age. And yet, out of those ashes, a miracle survived. The Temple of Concordia, built around 440 BC, is one of the best preserved Greek temples anywhere in the world. Its survival is due to its conversion into a Christian basilica in the 6th century AD. By infilling the walls and cutting arches into the cella, the structures remain standing rather than being dismantled for building stone. Its proportions are textbook Doric, 6 by 13 columns, a continuous entablature, and capitals that still preserve the original profile. The accuracy of its geometry provides archaeologists with invaluable data on classical temple construction outside Greece itself. Excavations around the temple uncovered early Christian burials, confirming the continuity of its sacred use across centuries. Beneath Concordia, myth and modern time meet. The fallen figure of Icarus by Igor Mitorai lies in the dust, an echo of human daring beside a temple to human order. Around them, olive trees older than empires still bear fruit. This landscape is still alive.
The Temple of the Heracles is the oldest one in the valley, and it's dating back to the late 6th century BC.
Only 8 columns have been re-erected, utilizing original column drums recovered from the site. Ancient combs from Akragas show the temple's outline, helping archaeologists confirm its design.
Heracles was a legendary Greek hero famous for his 12 labors. In one of them, he separated the Gibraltar Strait. Roman writer Cicero mentions this temple as one of the most beautiful ones, and ancient coins from Akragas even show it on one side. Behind me is a temple of the Olympian Zeus, and it was the largest Doric temple tried to be built. The construction started after the famous Battle of Himera in 480 BC, when Archagas defeated Carthage and used prisoners as labor. The temple was, however, never finished due to the Carthaginian destruction of the city in 1406 BC, and now only the foundations and massive stone blocks remain.
Measuring 112 by 56 meters, the Temple of Zeus was the largest Doric temple ever attempted. Its most distinctive feature was the Telemones, or the Atlases, colossal sculpted figures set between the columns as if holding up the roof. Archaeologists believe the project was still unfinished when Carthage returned in 1406 BCE, leaving us with a ruin that symbolizes ambition cut short.
Behind me is a temple of Castor and Pollux, also known the temple of Dioscuri. Castor and Pollux were the twin sons of Zeus, the protector of sailors and the city, which makes sense that he's the protectors of Sicily. It's only 4 columns right now and is the most photographed symbol of Sicily. It is built in the 5th century BCE and was heavily reconstructed in the 19th century.
While the standing corner is a romantic reconstruction, it captures the essence of Akragas' sacred skyline. It also reveals something important. Archaeology is never just what survived, but about how each generation interprets and rebuilds the past. Beyond the temple, archaeology has revealed the fabric of daily life in Akragas. Cisterns and wells, terracing for vineyard, sanctuaries dedicated to Demeter and Persephone, and the agora where trade and politics met. Rock-cut tombs from the Roman and Christian periods illustrate the continuous reuse of this landscape. The story of the Valley of the Temples is a testament to what we built and why we make it. These temples were born from faith, financed by wealth, and designed to last as an eternal witness to the glorious rise and its violent fall. They survived empires and earthquakes, and were transformed by new religion. To study them is to see how stones itself can become a witness to history, holding the memory of a city that dared to be the most beautiful on earth.
The Valley of the Temples is a living museum, an open-air history book where every stone tells a story. Here we can walk in the footsteps of the Greeks, Romans, Christian pilgrims, invaders, and of course archaeologists. And if you want to experience the world with your own eyes, feel the weight of history, come to Agrigento. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories from history's most incredible places. And most importantly, don't forget, keep digging.